Hey everybody, it's Martha. Welcome back to my 100-day project and 100 hearts in 100 days. So, today I decided to do this bunny, and it's not done yet, but it took me 2 hours to do this. You would not wanted to have sat with me during this project. Trust me. But isn't it cute? I think it's adorable. Okay, so where did I get this idea? Well, Pinterest, of course. Every time I go on Pinterest, this pops up on my page, even though I've saved it. And isn't that adorable? I just love it. I can't draw worth a dang. So artistry as far as drawing and painting is way out of my realm. So I saved it to my iPad as a photo. I took a screenshot and then I put a piece of very light poppy paper over it, and I traced it with a pencil and then traced that with a black Sharpie marker, a fine point one. So I got that, and then I had this very thin fabric, and I will try and slip part of that over. So I can just barely see that through there, and I drew it on with a pencil. And I'm going to insert a picture right here. To show you. And I stitched part way around and then took a picture of the rest of it where you could see the pencil. Should have done that ahead of time before I started stitching, but didn't think about that. So I back stitched all of this. I stink at back stitching, especially around curves. So yeah, it was a challenge. Excuse me. Still a little froggy today. And what I used was this from Sue Spargo's Eleganza, one of her Wonderfill specialty threads, which I got at Artistic Artifacts. And this one box cost $43.99. It was a splurge, and I ended up getting 2 boxes. This was several years ago. So I ended up getting 2 boxes, and I got those colors as well. Would I like every box that she has? Oh, absolutely. Can I afford it? No. So I used this one, EZM 1015. And it's number 8, size is number 8. I didn't know if that was a little thick for it, but I really liked the variegation in it. I have a variegation addiction, so there you go. So I think I'm going to stick with this color range. I love this one to death. I love this one too because it's got the gold in it there. It's a little more subtle, but it's got more pink. So I think I'm going to use this one. Now if you look at the iPad photo, they use different threads for the, I can't get the cover on. And I'm trying not to shake the camera, and I have a very, very tight space that I'm working in. Let's see. So they used one color for the outline, different color for the ear, different color for the eye, and they used a yellowish for the inside of the rabbit, and then the background was blue, so they used like white to light blue to dark blue. I want to use this as the outside, and then I'll decide what I want to do on the inside. But it's just going to be stitches, just seed stitches. Now, once I did this, I have now decided that I would prefer to do this again at some point. And I'm sorry for the sun coming in, but we had no sun yesterday and I needed sun. So the sun is going to creep in because it works its way to the, I don't know if I can get this needle threaded. It works its way to the back of our house. And I have my sliding glass door open as well. And it's windy today. And I mean windy. The trees are swaying. Stuff that is blowing all over the top of the house. Leaves and branches. And it's very gusty. But I'm going to try and put my lamp closer. And maybe that'll even the light out just a little bit. Hopefully, tilt my knees up a little bit. So I'm going to use this thread for the outside. Oh, no. Stop. I mean, I am crammed in here. There's like 6 inches between me and the camera, and it's tight. I'm going to just put it that way. So I'm not going to try and do a circle around here because, you know, that doesn't work. But I am going to try and do maybe maybe I'll do a circle around this portion here if I can get it going without using a circle to cheat with. Maybe I'll do a knot in the middle. I kind of like that idea. So I hope this finds everybody well. I'm so enjoying the comments and the chats we're having in the comments section. Oh, please, not the first one. Oh, okay. Well, not the best knot, but it is what it is. I really appreciate you all commenting and interacting with me. It's so much fun. I have really enjoyed your opinions on what I posted yesterday about what you thought about the, you know, well, what is it for comments. Now, I will say that someone else on Facebook in the Slow Stitch group, which I think I mentioned yesterday, also asked me, you know, well, what are they for? And so I mentioned what I might use mine for, and I said, what would you use them for? And she commented today, and I really enjoyed her comments. And I said something about, well, you better get busy because those are great ideas. And she commented back and said she had to clean off her desk before she could get started. But anytime I can inspire someone else to do something, there is no better feeling in the entire world to me than knowing that I inspired someone to... Can you hear the bird? I don't know if you guys can hear the birds outside when I can hear them. But there's no better feeling for me than when I inspire somebody. I would get up and open the door wider. That would probably scare the bird away, which would defeat the purpose of opening the door wider. And if I did that, I was afraid if the door was open too wide, all you'd hear is wind. I love listening to the birds. We feed the birds. We have 2 bird feeders out back. When you've been married as long as Tony and I have, which will be, oh Lord, I've lost track now. I think we're married 47 years, maybe 48 this year. Yes, it'll be 48 this year. Ooh. We don't always have a lot to talk about when we're eating breakfast or lunch or dinner. So we sit and watch the birds. We can look. Our kitchen is in the back of the house, and that's like a second story for us. We have a deck, that overlooks the backyard, and the kitchen overlooks the deck. So we have the bird feeders placed just so we can see the birds from the table. A little kitchen table, eating kitchen. So I hope the camera isn't too close, so close that my hand going back and forth is making you, where to go, making you dizzy. If it is, please let me know, and I won't do it this close again. Let's see if we can prevent that from happening again. Boy, I swear, some days I can't speak. Everything I touched yesterday was a mess. Like, I was trying to make dinner, and there was just, it was just a mess. Food going everywhere. It's just, I don't know, some days are like that, right? So we didn't go anywhere today. Tony, well, I didn't go anywhere today. Tony, we have to take our things to a trash compactor site. We don't pay for trash pickup. So he did that, and he probably went by and checked the mail because that's on the way. Because we have community mailboxes, because, you know, we live in a gated community. Not that they really take care to keep people out, but and when he came home, then he went for his walk. So I just wanted to stay home and play. And so this morning, this whole week, because we've been busy and going places almost, I think, every day, we went somewhere. And because of the how busy we were all week, then you got your regular stuff, you know, like housework. And Tony does a large share of the housework, but we do dishes together. I don't use a dishwasher. We cook together because he usually wants something different than I want. But I do my laundry separate from him. Always have. Because he ruined so many of my clothes doing laundry his way when he thought he was helping. But he wasn't. So, unfortunately, we had lots of discussions about that. But anyway. So, because we've just been busy with everyday things and running here and there and hither and yon, when I've been making my hearts, I've just been dumping the, fabric scraps and the spools of thread and just been dumping them in different, I had 3 or 4 different containers here. And I was just dumping the stuff. And that drives me crazy. I don't like doing that. So I went through the bins and I sorted stuff out. And I did not, I switched up a bin, which helped immensely because the bin I switched to is much, much bigger. And the fabrics I'm keeping up here. Now, mind you, I have a basement with like big, the large plastic bins. I have a basement with, there's probably 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have these bins that are about maybe 8 inches tall. and they're really long and wide, but they could like slide under your bed. They're not as deep bins, not as tall. So I have 3 of those, 3 or 4 of those with fabric. Then I have the big bins, the tall heavy duty kind of, but they're clear. Well, not clear, but you can see what's in them more or less. They have that whitish plasticky tinge to them. But anyway, they're not colored like the green ones or the red ones you get at Christmas or whatever. So I probably have 3 of those with fabric in it. So there's no way I could bring those up here. So what I did was when I started this project, I went down and I'd get a couple of colors. And I started with those colors, like the red and the blue. And then I'd go downstairs and get neutrals and yellows. And then I went downstairs and got pinks and greens. And so every few days I was going downstairs and getting different colors. So what I did was I kept those that I picked out. I kept those up here and kept the smaller pieces of them. Oops, I don't like that one. Starting to rush. It's always a time thing with YouTube for me. Excuse me, Froggy is back. So, I'm trying to untwist my thread, but the needle was coming out. There we go. That was part of my problem. All right. No rushing, Martha. Takes the time it takes. So those fabrics were in like 3 different smaller bins, probably about the size of this mat, and I don't know, 6-8 inches deep. One bin is only like 4 inches deep. And I used to use those for project bins when I was doing the journal making stuff, because paper lays really flat and doesn't take up much space. And so I was working on a project, I throw everything related to that project in those narrower bins, about this size, but only maybe 3-4 inches deep. So that works okay for some stuff for the fabric, but to keep fabric in, I needed something deeper. So I ended up going downstairs, and through all my reorganizations, I have a place where I keep bins that I'm no longer using for whatever reason. So that when I do need an empty bin, I know I've got it and I can go look for it. I go shopping in my basement, just like I go shopping in my basement for fabric. Unless, of course, I'm near a fabric store and I go shopping in the fabric store. But anyway, back to the story. So I gotta work my way around this ear here. Okay. Can't talk and stick my tongue out and concentrate at the same time. So I went downstairs, found a bin. I'm like, wonder if this would work. And what I did was I folded all the fabric, separated it all by color, folded it all up. And they're smaller bits. Most of them are smaller bits. Oh, I don't like that one either. Curves in too much. I think I'm doing pretty well for not having a circle to follow. I'm impressed with myself. Even if I do say so myself. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So we so I sat and I sat on my bed and I separated all of that fabric, piled it up by colors and sizes, and I was able to stand the fabric up this way and stack it in. And now I can see all of the colors. And if I decide I want to work with, you know, a certain color, then I'll pull that fabric out. Will some of them be similar to the hearts I've already made? Yeah, because I'm using similar fabric. But when I get, you know, to the point where I'm like, nah, that looks too much like the one I already made, then I will go downstairs. I'll take that bin downstairs. Sorry, itchy nose, allergies, door is open, you know. I will take that bin downstairs. Well, I kind of messed up there, but I'm impressed. I do say so myself. All right, I'm going to go, I think I'm going to try right on the edge here. I don't know if that's going to work because I'm going to run out when I get around this edge, but that's okay. I'll just stop it and start over again. I'll take that bin downstairs. I'll put those fabrics away in order where they belong, in the bins, and then I can shop for new fabrics. Well, I probably won't put those fabrics away till I shop for the new fabrics, because you know what'll happen? I'll pull out the same fabrics because obviously I like them. Okay, is that going to look funny because it's too close? Yes. All right, I'm going to stop that one right there, I think. Right there. I'm going to come around this way and go around that way and stop again. Okay. So I will go shopping in my fabrics again. Try and, you know, I mean, I only have so many colors. I've pretty much used all the colors in the rainbow plus some. But I'll try and figure out different fabrics to use and different ways to use them. And so part of my ideas, you know, will come from Pinterest like this one. And some of them will be similar to the way I've already done some of them. Some of them will be like the first one I made, which is the red one, which isn't part of the 100-day project, because that was my practice one to see if I was even capable mentally of doing that. And I'm so glad I decided to do it. But, all right, so I'm going to go around this way. So that is my plan. Some of them won't be as complicated as this one, and some of them will. Some of them will take longer, some of them won't, and that's okay. The ones that take a really long time, I won't do on camera because, you know, it's just too long. I mean, this would have been a three-hour tour, as they say. A 3-hour tour. You know, Gilligan's Island. If I had done the whole thing on, and I wouldn't have been very happy filming it because a lot of this, I would stitch it and then I took it out and stitched it again. This whole bottom row, I got up here and I was like, no. All the stitches on the bottom had spaces in between them. I'm like, what happened? How did I miss? So I was very unhappy with that and didn't even realize it. Like, it didn't. I got up here and I'm looking down here and I'm thinking my stitches up here are way nicer than those down there. And I got very speaking under my breath, you know. And I was like, nope, I'm not letting that one fly because it looks terrible. So good old OCD set in. Good old need for perfection in what I'm doing. And I decided to How many times does Martha thread the needle in this video? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, so, we all have our quirks, right? We all know Martha has hers. I said something the other day. I was referring to myself in the third person like I just did. Martha has hers. I think I said, okay, it's time for Martha to go to bed. Martha's a very tired girl. My husband's like, why are you talking to yourself in the third person? I don't know. I babysat back in Germany, the first time we went to Germany before I had children. I would babysit this little girl. This woman needed help, and I babysat this little girl. And she was a really sweet little girl, but she was a little quirky. I think she was 3 or so, maybe 5. She was not school age yet. And she would refer to herself in the third person every time she talked. And it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I really wasn't sure what that was about. I don't think, at the time I had never heard of autism. I don't think she was autistic. I'm not saying that's an autistic trait. I'm just trying to think, what would have caused her to do that. It was just very strange. So, yeah, very, very different. So let's see, I want to... I'm just going to do like a triangular shape here, I think. It's a little closer than I want, but that's okay. This is not going the direction I wanted it to, but it's all right. I go with the flow and adjust at this point. Yes, so I today am extremely grateful for all the people who have commented on my video, all of the people who have commented on my posts in the Slow Stitch community and my Facebook page. And for the sunshine, because yesterday was not a good day for me. I don't know. Cranky Pants is my nickname for me on yesterday because it was just not a good day for Martha. And there was no sun, and I blame it on that. Okay, so done with that side. Okay. Alrighty. Zooming right along here. 28 minutes. Of course, I still have to do the inside of the rabbit. So I don't really have enough room to do much of a circle there. So I think down here, I'm going to do another triangular kind of shape because I'm still trying to figure out what to do up there. I think it's just going to be straight stitches. Isn't this thread pretty? I just love it. It's very autumn looking, autumnal, you might say, with the red, the orange, the green, the gold. but I just think it's so pretty. It's just so pretty. Oh, so I did start saying, I think I would do this bunny again. Smaller, if I can draw it smaller, if I can figure out how to shrink it. Now, I could do that with my copier. I could do it in Adobe Photoshop, but I haven't used Adobe Photoshop in like 2 years, so I'd have to relearn everything all over again, because I have forgotten everything I struggled to learn on it. But I'd like to try and freehand it, if possible, and make it smaller, and then do the bunny, and then make like it's sniffing a flower up here. That's my next, not my next project, but that's going to be a future project for sure. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we're gonna move it on up. So the saga of the house for sale next door is still ongoing. Not sure what's happening with it, because on Zillow it says it's pending. Itchy allergy nose, sorry. And then, see, I feel like that's kind of a shape, and that's a shape, and that's a shape. So now I feel like there has to be shapes over here, and I don't know what to do. All right. I'm just going to go along the bunny. So Zillow says it's pending, but the real estate agent who I know personally uploaded a video today saying what a great house it was and that it was for sale. So I don't know if Zillow hasn't caught up and the second purchaser fell through as the first purchaser did, because it was under contract and then it fell out of contract, and then it was under contract again, and according to Zillow it still is, but according to the real estate agent who posted the video of it today, it's not. And I haven't contacted her to ask. She's actually going through some radiation treatments, so I don't want to annoy her. But when I found out that she was going through the similar thing that I went through in late 2021, I did contact her and say, if you need to talk, I am here. And, you know, everybody has to go through their journey themselves, how they handle it, but I am here. So I have messaged her several times, and we chat for a few minutes. She's a busy woman, but I'm like, I'm here. I'm just checking in to see how you're doing, how you're feeling, what's going on. So she is seeing what I have been told is a very good doctor, and better than I had, and has been offered a reduced radiation time. And, you know, I hope she's doing okay. But anyway, she has a whole group, a real estate agency that she owns. And so maybe someone in the group accidentally posted the video of the house for sale. But we're just hoping somebody nice moves in eventually. I know the man really needs it sold. He's already moved out. His wife is in a care home, and he's in assisted living. So I know they're trying, and they don't live nearby. They live down near Virginia Beach, Williamsburg area. I am playing thread chicken. I am. I'm not going to make it. I mean, there's too much to go, but I'm trying to get this green back up in here. All right, I'm going to tie this off before I run out totally. Since I have to cut another piece to finish like a few stitches anyway. Oh well. I am having the hardest time with these scissors today. Well, it's not the scissors. It's my fingers. I know it's my fingers. I absolutely love this thread, adore this thread. And I have not checked to see the price, but I'm sure because I bought this, had to be 3 years ago. Was it before the pandemic started? I can't remember. But I know the price has probably gone up. I would not be surprised at all. I mean, before the pandemic even started, like probably 5 years before it started, so maybe 2013, I had heard that the price of cotton was going to go up anyway, which it did. And when I was in the quilt store getting the little, those little squares, I don't think I should have done that one, but that's okay. I think it'll be okay. I told Tony I didn't even think to check what the price of quilting cotton is now in a quilt store. So, because I specifically was not going to fall in love with any fabric. I just wanted those little 2.5-inch squares. That's all I wanted. So what other hobbies do you have? I know Robin makes journals, and she does beautiful little landscape quilts. I'm lucky enough to have one. Thank you, Robin. I love my little farmhouse. And she frames them, and they are absolutely beautiful. And I'm lucky to be a recipient of one of them. I mean, I do a lot of handcrafts, but I used to quilt. I have a giant quilt that needs to be layered and have the backing put on it and quilted, and I checked with the quilt shop and they want 2 cents a square inch, and this is a king size quilt, so I am probably going to struggle to try and do it myself. Because I don't think I can. I don't even know what the size is. I haven't done the math because hate math. And I gotta decide what I'm going to do the inside with. And I am pretty sure it's not money I'd want to spend on getting it quilted. So let's see. What do I want the inside of Bunny look like? Probably should have done a couple stitches up here. It looks a little odd, but I think his head's close enough to or her head is close enough. I don't know what I want the bunny to be. Do I want yellow? Do I want... These are the colors I have to choose from in that box. These are the colors in this box. I don't want blue. Could do this. Don't want that. I should have decided this before, but I didn't. So there you go. I know this is really close. I'm going to raise you up. Close your eyes. Okay, open your eyes. I don't think there's anything there I want. Well, I'm not sure I want to change threads at this point. Like style of thread. That'd be too clashy? I'm going to give it a go. I can't sit here and fuss and fumble with it for the next half hour while I decide, right? So we're just going to give this a whirl. Come on. Cut the thread. Oh, the sun has gone away. There are a lot of clouds today, but they're blowing by. Actually, the wind's died down a little bit at the moment. I hate having allergies because everything itches all the time. But that's because I have the door open. I'm torturing myself here. It's terrible. It's simply terrible. All right. This I think I'm going to do in very small, teeny tiny stitches. If I can keep them that way. Like I was saying, I've done quilting. I have done weaving. I've spun wool into yarn. I crochet, knit. I've tried tatting, but I was doing needle tatting, and I watch people do the shuttle tatting on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. They lose me. And the problem with tatting is you have to count. And then you have to like hold the thread a certain way. And it gets to be a lot for my brain. And it's not as enjoyable as it should be. Some people get it, some people don't. I'm a don't. So I've made a few things. I'm proud of them. Like little teeny tiny, bits. But it's a lot. I've done ice dyeing. I have done acid dyeing with acid dyes on wool. I love the ice dyeing. I will probably do more of that this year. I have done, in school, I learned in 6th grade. I had the best 6th grade teacher ever. And she allowed us to do many things. I did basket weaving. Absolutely loved it. I we learned how to do batik, where you use the hot wax as a resist, and then you paint dyes on the stretched fabric. I absolutely loved that. Could probably get into that again, but I don't know if I would because it's a lot of work. I have tried to dye silk scarves. They turned out okay. Let's see, what else? I've done, what's it called? Loom beading, where you use a loom to make like beaded, some people make beaded, bracelets, but I made wraps to wrap around Native American flutes, because for a while there, Tony and I were playing the Native American flutes, and we had this was pre-pandemic, we had 3 groups going at one point. Every weekend we were joining up with other people and playing Native American flutes, and we played in public a few times. So I started making some flute wraps. Oof. That's an interesting, I still have the looms and I still have the beads, but it's a lot of tiny work. And again, counting. You have to follow a pattern. And so I did do some of that. Haven't done it in years. I have a friend who's part Native American and loves to live his heritage. And he had a leather bag that he used all the time, and he wanted something beaded on the front of it, so I did that for him. That was an interesting project. Tore my hands all up because it's hard to bead through leather. It's a lot of work. But he did a lot of things for us, so I did it for him for free. I wouldn't have known what to charge for it, you know? And he was a friend. Just when I was whipping along really well here. Come on. Oh, please. Please come undone. Now I've pulled it and it's really tight. All right, I have to bring this closer to my face. Sorry. No. Well, hold please. Okay, you've been returned to your regularly scheduled program. Whew. I had to knot that one off and cut off the part that was tangled, and what a mess. Okay. Oh, the wind is back. What else have I done? Ooh, I made a stained glass thing once, pre-pandemic. A friend of mine invited me to the art center, and we made little stained glass hearts, of course. So that was cool, although I didn't like the flux and that part, but what else have I done? I'm sure there are things that I've done that I've not remembered. I stink at drawing and painting. Oh, when I was young, I made candles. I had a little candle making thing going on in my basement. And like I said, I embroidered the other day. I said this, I embroidered my jeans and my jean jacket and purses that I made. I would sit and sew by hand for hours. I do these itty bitty teeny weeny stitches by hand. And even quilt making, putting the binding on, I would put, you know, the one side on by machine to make sure it was really on. And then my favorite part of quilt making is hand sewing the rest of that binding on. I mean, that's just my favorite part. I have always loved hand stitching. Oh, that's really big. I don't like it. It's got to be a little teeny one like the others. So I have always liked little tiny hand stitches. I don't know. As my eyes have gotten older, it's gotten harder, but it is what it is. I've cross-stitched. I cross-stitched quite a few things at one point, but cross-stitch, again, counting, keeping track of where you are. No, this freeform stuff, this is way more my style. When I found out there was a thing called Saori, S-A-O-R-I, weaving, it's all about the wabi-sabi with the cloth and the threads tell you they want to be. That is very much my style. Just doing what comes to you and being very freeform about it. Yeah. That is very much my style. I'm not going to know how long this video was because I didn't look at the timer on the video before I turned it off when I was getting that tangle out, but I'm almost there. I hope you are keeping busy stitching along with me or having a cup of tea or doing your thing while I'm doing mine. Tony's in the living room watching basketball. He's been recording. Not taping. You know, that shows my age. He's been recording on the DVR many basketball games. So, first it was professional. I guess professionals are still playing. I don't know. I haven't asked lately. And of course now it's March Madness, where the college teams are all competing to go to the championship. So there's that. Oh, I thought I pulled this out. I did not. I think I'm going to like this, but I'm not sure it's going to show up very well in the end. I might have chosen to do a stranded thread in maybe a solid color. Maybe the variegated was too much for the inside of the bunny. But, you know, again, lesson learned, right? It's always about the lessons you learn. That's how I feel. And if I can learn something along the way of doing something that I'm enjoying, then it's all good. I've mentioned before that we watch these videos. The YouTuber's name is Nikki Positano. That's the name of her channel. That's not her name. She lives in Positano in Italy. And so we've been learning little bits of Italian along the way, because her husband, though he can speak English, it's way easier for him to not and stick with his Italian. And of course, she speaks Italian because they've been together a long time. So, and the scenery is gorgeous, especially when they travel around and show us different parts. They went on a trip to England and back, and they stopped and visited friends along the way, on the way there and on the way back in different areas. And oh my goodness, some of the places, one of the places they went in France on their way back was so beautiful. I so wish we had gone and done more traveling when we were stationed in Germany. Or that I didn't mind flying. Because absolutely hate to fly. Always have. Never enjoyed it. The noise on the airplanes, you know, the air things, and you know, it's not like we can afford the high priced fancy schmancy first class with beds and stuff. We watch quite a few YouTube couples, and most of them are RV people, but there's one couple that they only got a van during the pandemic because they couldn't travel anywhere else, but they've traveled all over the world. And they've had some amazing, amazing travels, amazing flights in first class. It's just crazy. Who knew they did that stuff on airplanes? The seats and the beds and the champagne and the food and the... Oh, yeah. Crazy, crazy. Oops. Well, that one's a little big, but guess what? It's staying. Ow! I got going too fast. Oh, it's bleeding. That one hurt. I stabbed it big. Oof. Yowza. Ooh-wee. That hurt. Oh, yeah. I'm holding it out now. It hurts so bad. Wow. Oh, I'm lucky I didn't say a bad word. Oh, that hurt. Okay. Well, I'm happy with that. Methinks. Wonder... I'm going to go up to that ear. And I think I'm going to make the ear. Maybe not. Maybe. Maybe not. not to stab myself again. Trying to decide if I'm on the inside of that thread or not. And I'm trying to get all the white, trying to get that all white. So, I think I did it. I'm happy with that. See? Andiamo. So, I've learned andiamo, which is let's go. I've learned vieni qua, which is here, come here, like just means here, basically. Now, do I need to? I feel like these places are a little bare there. What do you think? Do I need to go back and do those? Martha? Gotta figure out which one I used. Gosh, can you believe that? Where is it? It's this one. And I have a bit left, so I'm just going to finish that off. Bear with me. Oops. I feel like it's just sort of like too obvious, just sticking out there. And you all know this is the year of the rabbit, the Chinese New Year, year of the rabbit, right? So I thought this was fitting. To do a rabbit. And it was something different. I'd also like to try the bird, but I don't know if I'd be very good at it. But as I said, I've learned some lessons, so I think I would do okay if I decided to do a bird. There, I like that better. Sometimes it's the little things. A simple fix. Would I use this size thread again? Probably not. I'd probably use the stranded thread. But that's okay. Like I said, lessons learned. All right, so this is what day am I on? Did I even say that at the beginning? Because I have no clue. I think it's 18, right? That was 17. And this was the finished one from yesterday. I did post pictures at the end of the video. So there's that. So this is oh boy. I have to find. You should see me throwing stuff everywhere here. Okay. Let's see, I have to put. Most of them are written on that side. This side here. 18. That one from yesterday, there just was no room on that side. So, day 18. Complete. What do you think? Do you like it? It looks okay on camera. I think it's okay. So, thank you again. I love you all. Leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Do all the fun things. That's what all the other YouTubers say. So thank you for being here. I love you guys. Take care. See you next time. Bye.